Welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast featuring your host, Superfly. Got my boy, Danny Daybars Open on the other end, co-hosting with me today.
What's good, baby? Good to be back. Took a little 3-week hiatus. Needed and forced. I know you're used to doing the podcast from home, but this is my official home setup, so we'll make it work. How have you gotten used to working from home, bro? Have you done it before, like in the past?
So we had where we have a flexible, or prior to the coronavirus, we had a flexible work from home policy, so we could work from home every Friday.
Okay.
But not to this extent, to where we don't have to go in ever for extended periods of time. So even so, it's a huge adjustment for me. What about you?
Yeah, it's been I wouldn't say terrible, but it's been close to it, bro. Because I don't have that much space here. So I'm on the couch sometimes, I'm on my balcony sometimes, but the neighbors are loud because they're also home. So I'm just it's only been 3 days, but just trying to figure out the proper routine of all right, where do I even fucking sit for 9 hours? And dude, the funny thing is that, again, first of all, we're super lucky that we even are employed because, dude, sadly, so many people are just losing their job or being I learned a word I never even knew, that furloughed or furloughed.
Yeah, I literally learned that word yesterday. I was like, what the fuck is this? I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, they said it so confident about it. I'm like, bro, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, so at least thankfully my friends are getting that. No one's been laid off, which is great. But even that's terrifying, bro, because you never know when you're going back to work. So at least thankfully, you and I have jobs and we can, do this for fun. But dude, it's been, I feel like I've been working harder than I ever worked before to prove to my company, I'm essential.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way. Well, the first week when this shit was going on, I legitimately had a ton to do. But then the past couple weeks, there was moments or days where I was playing video games for 2 hours and then making lunch for 2.5 hours. Every time my boss checked in, even if it was the simplest request, I would go out of my way to make it seem like I was fucking rebuilding the company or something.
Yeah, I've been working I'm afraid I take lunch, but it's a 20-minute break and I'm right back to it. I know the idea of you're lucky as fuck to be employed right now and getting a check. You better bust your ass. Our CEO has been doing for the past 3 weeks since we've officially gone offline, has been doing a Zoom session with the whole company every Friday at 1. And I'm just all right, am I still employed?
Yeah.
Are we good? We just cutting benefits? That's fine. I'll do that. But I'm still getting a check. It's crazy, man.
Yep. And I think it wasn't. I don't think most companies were tripping beyond restaurants and stuff until they realized this wasn't going to end mid-April everyone originally kind of thought it was.
Yeah.
So they're oh shit, we got to cut costs for real now.
That's what it was, dude. Really, that first the first or second week of March is all right, this might be bad, but not a big deal. We'll figure it out. And then when March 20th came around, that Monday, and it's oh, this is bad. Mm-hmm. I gotta go. It was just crazy, man. I have a couple friends in hospitality, man. They got a buddy whose wife is in the hotel business. Marriott's laid off almost everybody, bro. It's just
Our client, one of our clients, not mine, but at the company is Hilton, and they obviously paused everything. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the people on that team, or maybe all of them, are gonna get furloughed.
Furloughed, bro. Buzzword of this. Furloughed and ventilators, the buzzword of fucking Rona. It's crazy, man. But but I heard but apparently human beings are the fucking virus because everything that has to do with the earth is blossoming right now.
It's so crazy how you mentioned that. I literally had to catch up with my boss a few hours ago, and that's what the first thing she said was we are the virus.
We are the virus, right? We are the virus, bro. Because I asked you specifically because I saw a thing about LA skies is the least amount of pollution ever. Is that really how it is, or was that just one spot?
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't left the house that much. The other night I think I went outside and I looked at the sky at night because I know for a fact in LA, when you look in the sky at night, there's 7 stars. And I didn't see much more than usual, but during the day, I think the air just feels and smells cleaner. It doesn't smell like fucking homelessness and piss.
Yeah.
Which
here it's you could definitely tell the sky is there's way less city pollution here. Like I look up at night now, I'm going for my runs and I'm like, oh wow, there's mad fucking stars.
And random ass animals are coming out too.
Yo, yes, dude. I saw something in India where like some like half leopard, half cheetah thing. I was like, bro, what the fuck is that? Like, yeah, crazy.
Yo, we're gonna discover Bigfoot in like 2 weeks.
Probably, dude. Yeah, just like rolling through fucking Rodeo Drive, like yo,
trying to shop it, fucking.
Yo, but the scary thing here is the fucking when I go for my runs, I was already terrified of going for runs during the day because of fucking iguanas. These motherfuckers are running the streets now, bro. Like, cause there's no cars, so like they're just like, yo, we own this. I was like, this.
Damn. Is it like India? You know how they pause, or not pause, but break the cars for the cows and stuff?
Not yet. No. Well, fucking, you see dead iguanas all the time. Like that's they don't cause they're over fucking populated in fucking Florida, bro. Like there's literally billboards everywhere saying iguana problem. Call this number. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when I was in Florida, I thought I would be more afraid of them. Maybe it's because they don't seem as aggressive unless you're trying to fuck with them.
They're not aggressive at all. They're just like annoying. It's like, why are you here? You know what I mean? Like there's no need for you to be like so close to me.
Right.
As far as your day to day though, how's like obviously besides working from home, you said you really haven't been able to like go out. Like, did you guys just stock up once and like you have food for a month? Like,
so we stocked up the first week when the scare was happening. I was pissed off because like I ended up like every time I would go to the store, I would think I could get pasta and this and that, and I would leave with like a Kit Kat bar, alcohol, and like maybe bacon or some shit.
Yeah.
But we did stock up for quite a bit. I've been eating Spam, rice, eggs, and bacon for like the past 2 weeks.
Damn, straight Hawaiian diet, huh?
Yep. But tonight I got shrimp, so we'll
nice.
switch it up. Trying to be a little classier.
Nice. So obviously everyone who listens to the podcast obviously knows on a personal basis. So like this shit affected me crazy because obviously I had to go to New York on March 12th because abruptly my mom passed on the 11th. So like when we usually record, so that was crazy, bro. And then just dealing with a funeral during this crisis was, dude, the worst experience possible, man. Like it, you want to, let someone, rest in peace and like do things properly. And then, bro, it went from like, all right, you're only allowed 50 people in the viewing to 25 to 10. And then, all right, it's only 10, but then 10 people in the room and the other 10 have to die. And then at the actual burial, like we couldn't even like be close enough when they started like lowering my mom's casket into the, like, it was just like, it's already a super traumatic experience, especially because like my mom was super young and this was so unexpected. But bro, like having to deal with that plus the pandemic, bro, terrible, man. Like the craziest thing for my family was like, my mom's alive, so she's 77. So everyone who's like trying to comfort her is visiting her at her house in New York, and it's like, bro, like I'm so appreciative of you caring, but like please call her. Like you can't just come and hug her and kiss her.
Yeah.
Like, but that's even the other thing. Like, we couldn't even embrace each other at the wake. So that was probably like out of this whole Corona shit, that where I was the worst, bro. Because like you couldn't just grieve, you had to fucking like also be terrified for your own life because this shit, especially in New York, bro. Like in New York, it was fucking just terrible. Yeah. So that fucking sucks. So luckily, Lord willing, when this shit's all done soon. My mom's birthday's in August, so we're gonna throw a massive party, just like a celebration of life. Because man, this Rona shit has really fucked up a lot of people's situation, but like that really sucked because it was like, damn, I can't even like properly process correctly because I'm way more not more concerned, but like I have to even think about, damn, I can't even like hug my dad who's crying.
Right. Yeah. Or like, oh, now I have to like wash my hands just as a safety measure for no reason. Well, not no reason, but it's not. In that moment, it's the least of your worries, and obviously with what's going on in the world, it has to be everyone's worry.
Yeah.
But was like the staff enforcing social distancing and all that?
Yeah, they had to, bro. They police taped all the outside chairs and blocked it. They removed certain chairs from the viewing, so only was able to sit 10 people at a time. And they would like dude, the cops came in a couple times and like poked their head in to make sure that it was only 10 people per viewing room. Because like, again, I get it. Like, we'll get into LA a little bit, but the reason why I think California is doing so well is because you guys got super aggressive early about like, yo, we have to take it seriously. So I don't know if New York was late, but when I was there, at least New York was very like, yo, like it has to be this way. So again, I understood it. At no point was I mad about it. Like I understood it, but it was just like, damn, like I'm going probably through the most traumatic thing in my life, and I'm also worried about the most traumatic thing in other people's life also happening at the same exact time. Like it was just like a super weird situation. But dude, if you ever knew my mom, I always say this, so like, yo, my mom like was always a person like, yo, shit will go south, and she would still figure out a way to smile and keep it moving. So like with the whole thing, I was like, all right, cool, fine. It'll be 50 people. All right, 25. All right, 10. Cool, no problem. We'll keep it moving, bro. Because at the end of the day, like I just wanted to like do right by her, and like if I was getting mad and upset at somebody about this shit, like that's not going to help anything at all. So
yeah, no, I think that's a great perspective. And rest in peace to her. Unfortunately, I never got to meet her. I know every now and then we would briefly chat about her, or you would say she was visiting, and she just seemed like a super dope person who was beloved by the entire family. And I know you're a strong dude, so it's great to see that. Great, even with all this coronavirus madness that you pulled through. And obviously, at the end of the day, this podcast isn't going to take priority over our lives. I think it's cool that we can reflect on it, and even like 10 years from now or whatever it is, look back on this video or audio and just think about how crazy 2020 is and how much we've progressed and moved on.
That's why I keep telling my boys, like I feel when we look back at like, hopefully like even like 5 months from now, we can just like laugh at how crazy this fucking year has been. Like just wild, bro. Like if you go back to our first episode in January, like 2020 vision, like this was not at all on the vision. Like like of all the things, this was like the last thing on the fucking vision, bro.
I think when at least musically, I think we were both saying like 2020 was going to be the year, and like even though it was election year and everything,
I guess from that point it kind of has been that. There's been a lot of fucking good music coming out for sure.
Yeah.
But like in the landscape of life, like
it's wild. I don't know if it's some like, I don't know, magical thing with how the Earth aligns every 100 years, because apparently the previous century, 1920 and so on, were plagued by all sorts of crazy events. But
oh really? I didn't even look into that.
Yeah, I mean I think it's mostly conspiracy shit, but some people believe in
bro, there's so many conspiracy theories about all this shit, which like I kind of believe, I kind of don't. I hate to think like governments are behind the mass killing of so many people. But bro, it's at the end of the day, like I guess like what your boss was talking about, what we started off like, yo, we're clearly the virus, bro. Like we are the reason a lot of things just go south in this world. Because dude, like I think they were talking about like in Venice, it's the first time the dolphins appeared because they're not terrified of being killed by the cruise ships.
Yeah.
The water fucking has gone down and people aren't flooding in their homes anymore. Like, bro, we clearly fucked. Like, we suck, bro. Like this year.
I just pray that when all this is over, that it's not back to square one and people are killing dolphins and throwing trash in the street and just being wild.
You would hope so, bro. But even like the disappointing thing, like, because I guess people are already back to work in China. And like they had that like digital thing of like the map where like when people were like at home, the pollution went down to like nothing, and the moment they went back to work, it went like red.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, people are out for their self-interest and want to survive. So it's almost like we're willing to compromise if, like, we literally have no choice and nature is forcing us to do X, Y, Z. But after that's over with, it's like, all right,
we
gotta make my bread.
Yeah, you could probably. I was talking to a friend back from India. And like we were talking about how like this could all probably be like drawn back to capitalism. Like that probably was the exact reason why all of this shit went south. And like now we are where we at. Because I was even talking to my grandma about this, and she's like, "Well, Trump said by Easter we're gonna be open again." I'm like, "Are you like, Grandma? I love you, but there's no fucking way."
Well, isn't that like next week?
It's in 2 weeks from now. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no fucking way, dude.
I'm worried. I don't even know if we're gonna be done it by June. At this rate.
So in my mind, I really think, just again, I try to like not get absorbed by the news, but I do think by like end of May, people will be starting to go back to work. Like I think personally, just like I already see like there's certain like Asia's doing better, some parts of Europe are doing better, and like they're already like in the streets like cleaning and disinfecting everything. Like
right.
So I mean, you would hope, bro. But how is it in California? Because apparently like your death rate, thank God, is like one of the lowest like in all of like the world.
I mean, thank you for updating me because I had no idea.
Oh really?
Like that's good to know. Now I'll start fucking licking doorknobs and just being wild. But I think it's a little different in LA than New York just because we don't really have a public transportation system. We're not rubbing shoulders with people just going to the store and shit.
Got space.
Yeah, we got space. We're like almost too spread out, so people, unless they're going to the club or whatever, we don't really cross paths with too many people on a daily basis. But yeah, we implemented everything super quickly. It was super sudden. Like every company worked from home immediately. Like doesn't matter who you are. Restaurants closed, grocery stores enforce social distancing, so they don't even let. It's like almost like a nightclub. They literally had a red carpet at one of the grocery stores with the bars, and they were letting in people one at a time, like every 5 minutes. That's amazing,
bro. Like kudos to them to even thinking about that shit, because we're doing that as well at my local Trader Joe's, and it's legit only 10 people at a time, and like you're never too close to someone in an aisle. Like it's fucking great.
Yeah. It almost makes you wonder what some of the stuff they're implementing now you would want to have after the fact, regardless of if there's a virus or not.
Oh, dude, there's gonna be some new norms that pop out of this that like we probably want to keep around.
Yeah,
I'm not sure exactly which ones just yet, but like there's definitely gonna be a few things like, oh, you know what? We actually don't need people at all for this, or we actually really need people and we fucking took it for granted.
Yep. For sure.
Because I wonder how this might like stop the whole like push for AI when literally the entire world is dependent on like essential minimum wage workers besides like doctors and nurses. Like, dude, if we didn't have people at grocery stores, fucking delivery dudes, Uber Eats, yo, this world would be fucked. Like,
yep, they took them all for granted.
Yo, oh my god, we literally are so dependent on those fucking, like, it's amazing, yo.
Yeah, my friend, he works at a restaurant, and they slashed 80% of the employees, and only kept maybe the other remaining 20% to do takeout and deliveries, which sucks. And
bro, which is, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't know what their alternative is.
Oh yeah, I mean, from a company's point of view, I get it. Like it's like we're like if we want to be open when the shit's over, we can't have you on the books, but you just hope they do the right thing and bring them back.
Yeah.
But dude, what's crazy is I saw like something where like we like love to be like, you know, make America great again, all that bullshit. But bro, like out of all the countries who are supporting like their people during this crisis financially, yo, we are the worst, bro. Like people were so excited about these $1,200 checks, bro. In Europe, I think in the UK, they're covering up to 80% of your salary if you were fired. In Canada, it's something obscene. Like, bro, like yo, how, yo, it's like I think somewhere else is like they're covering in everything if you got fired for like 5 months. Like I'm like, bro. And people are hyped about like an extra $600 in unemployment or $12. Like, bro, that's nothing. Like, if you lose your job and you have no idea when you're going back to work, that's gonna do nothing for you.
Right? Damn, if my company said they would cover 80%, if I was fired, I'd email my boss right now and just say fuck you, just so I could chill at home and do nothing. Actually, I'd probably lose my mind, but it kind of reminded me of Yang. Not to get political, but the whole $1,000 a month policy, which even though it's nice, I mean, $1,000 really isn't that much. And it wasn't the check only going to be a one-time thing. It wasn't going to be for every month.
Yeah, the $1,200 is a one-time thing, and if you made more than 75,
you don't get it, right?
It reduces.
Oh.
But if you make six figures, you don't get it.
So that's, I mean, I guess it's helpful, but I think the ceiling could be a little better than 100.
I think this is going to be better than 100 too, because like at the end of the day, like yo, I think that money's really just to be like, yo, we know you had extra expense out of nowhere. Here's the money back. We're sorry. Yeah. Blah blah blah. But I don't know, bro. I mean, I heard the thing for like small businesses actually is pretty good. But as far as like on an individual level, like just comparing it to other nations that are fucking doing almost everything to help this, I'm like, damn, bro, we couldn't really like help people out a little bit more. Like,
yeah, America. It goes to show that in times like this, we don't really have our shit together,
bro. And the funniest thing is like, because I deal with healthcare, so like, yo, all these doctors on the phone are like, yo, we in a third world country. Because like, yo, they don't like these hospitals are fucking operating like on some ridiculous shit. And it's like, bro, like this is New York, this is Chicago, this is LA. Like, how the fuck are we so behind with the most basic of shit? Like it's terrifying for doctors to walk in because, like, yo, we saw this. I think the first case of this shit was like in January in China. So how the fuck did we not see this happening?
Right.
Like, yo, you just think like the map is like, oh, it's getting closer, but never come here. It'll go over us. Like,
I'm almost ashamed at myself for not taking it seriously until probably end of February, early March. Like when we first heard about it late January or whatever it was, like there was just memes about China, and I was just like, okay, this shit there might be a couple cases in New York here and there, but they'll get rid of it. And then over time I'm like, oh shit, I might need to like actually stay at home for a while because of this.
Yeah, dude. I remember like just thinking about it, like I think February, I think probably after one of our episodes, and I was just like, bro, like, but why are there still planes flying in?
Yeah, I'm like, wasn't that an easy decision? Just like fucking end the flights that are coming here.
Yeah, like why is that not happening? Like why are they still flying in here? Like it's March 10th and like there's still flights. I'm like, yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. But again, we are where we're at now. This is episode, I believe, 22, right? 22?
I think so.
Let me double check, bro, before I fucking get put out negative. Yep, episode 22. We're going to call this one Rona 2020. So almost exactly 3 months after 2020 vision, we're going to reevaluate and see how things are going.
2021 has to be the best year ever. I mean, even if it's mediocre, the shit's going to be infinitely better than this, hopefully. Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood, but I also think that in 5 months before the year's over, this year is going to probably turn out to be pretty productive, bro. I feel like there's a lesson in all this shit. Like that we're probably, it's too hard to fucking see it because we're still like adjusting to this new way of living. But I feel like once we're out of it and then we can just, back to the norm, there's going to be some kind of lesson of like either slow the fuck down, remember that fucking life is precious, don't value fucking money over people. Like there has to be something, bro, because this shit's just too wild, bro. Like,
yeah. No, it really does make you reflect on like your personal relationships and stuff. Funny thing is, well, some of my friends, like I had seen more in the past couple months just from the video chats and shit than in person.
Yo, same, bro. I'm talking to obviously a lot of people reaching out to me because of my mom, but like I'm still catching up with a lot of people who I haven't spoken to in fucking like decade. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, fuck, dude, you're at home. I know it's a time difference, but I'm at home. Let's like, because normally like, they're out or I'm out doing something, so we never like get to be on the phone. I'm like, bro, I'm available. Just call me.
Yeah.
And caught up with some friends from India for like an hour. Like that was fucking great.
Yeah, and I'm cooking way more, which is something I was always too lazy to do, or I thought I didn't have enough time, and now I cook literally for every single meal.
Facts, dude. Yeah, so I went to the supermarket when I got back from New York on Sunday, and like I thought I stocked up, but now that I'm literally eating every meal at home, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't have enough.
Yeah, I know. That's why I gotta go to the grocery store more. But motherfuckers are still hoarding food, or either that, or like literally everyone who never cooked before is just cooking now.
I think that's what it is, bro. Like everyone, because I think people are still kind of afraid. Maybe not younger people, but older people are still kind of afraid of like ordering through Uber Eats because you still have to have that interaction with the driver, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't really want to have you so close to me or whatever. So,
right.
But man, it's fucking. Let's try to figure out. That's what's been happening in the world. Let's try to get back to what we talk about as far as music as a nice little distraction for ourselves and our listeners. So, bro, since March, man, like till now, April 1st, what have you been listening to that's kind of like gotten you by? What have you been impressed by?
Yeah, let me pull up my playlist. There's been quite a bit.
Dude, so much has come out.
Jack Harlow, I know we talked about him for a bit. He had that EP, I think.
Bro, I'm so mad that you legit told me that you were going to a concert episode, and I was like, That's cool. Like, it didn't sink in my mind. And then I heard What's Poppin'. I'm like, bro, have you heard of this? Like,
yeah, I remember getting that text, and I'm like, fuck, if only you knew about the concert, which now is postponed because of the fucking virus.
Yeah.
That's another terrible thing is I think music festivals, even when, let's just say everyone's going back to work and shit in May, I think they're going to put restrictions on any event that's more than, let's say, 100 people. Like, for a
I think officially Rolling Loud just got postponed to February 2021 in Miami. Bro, but what I would say, which is a great thing that Coachella is doing, they're gonna do a live stream of like every Coachella for the past 20 years. Bro, we should probably do like figure out a way to do like either an Audio Theory live and like stream it and like our reactions to it, because I feel like that would be like a dope concept considering like we fucking wanted to do this show based off Coachella, kind of like relive it together and also like relive fucking ones which I've never seen before.
Yep, that would be super dope.
Like, it would be cool, like, to see our reaction, like, to the whole Tupac, like, hologram shit.
Hologram,
like,
yep. Yeah, I'm sure whoever was there when they saw that must have lost their mind.
Yo, lost their fucking...
Especially with all the substances they were probably on, too.
Dude, you're on fucking, like, mushrooms, and you're like, what? Alright, so yeah, Jack Harlow, you're impressed by his, I think it's called Sweet Action.
Yeah. I think after hearing that, I was like, and What's Poppin' obviously blew up and put him on the radar. So I feel like come 20...
What's Poppin' is like a record that you legit listen to 10 times in a row.
I think I've listened to... I never get sick of it when I put it on. Which is rare. Most songs I'll get sick of eventually, but I still haven't gotten sick of it. So I really hope his concert will happen this year, or at least, you know, he'll be in LA, because that was one of the biggest things I was looking forward to these next couple months.
Yeah, so like what the cool thing is, I mean, I don't know, cool. I guess they're trying to figure it now. We'll get into like, we can get to now, like the IG lives. Like, yo, everyone's IG live is fucking popping right now. Like everybody, bro. So I wonder if they're either one already making money off this shit, or they see this as the only way to figure out like how can we like still make some kind of money. Why? Because dude, most of these artists, like not like the peak ones, but like, yo, if you don't go on tour, you really don't have any money because you're not making money off streams. So like, they're gonna start hurting soon if they're like not able to go on tour till fucking
for sure
June, or I mean September. Like,
I feel like for them they just want to stay relevant and like sell merch and shit.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Selling the merch and like selling those tickets is where they're making money, right? Like I don't know. I mean, I know about Jack, but like there's other artists who like aren't that big. So like, you know, like they need to go on tour or be on a fucking like concert, a festival like lineup to, you know, get some fucking income. So like, I'm not saying they're living paycheck to paycheck, but fuck, bro, you get if a label signs you for a certain amount of money and you already spend that shit on the wardrobe, it's like, you're fucked.
I mean, I can't say this for the bigger artists, but I'm sure some of the like C-list DJs and shit are charging or putting up their Cash App profile when they're streaming for a couple hours.
They definitely are doing that. Like, I put some money aside like to donate to charities. I might legit just start sending fucking DJs like money, like, cause I get it, bro. It's fucking tough times, but dude, like that's probably been the best thing out of all of this is like if you want to be entertained for a good like 6 hours, like.
There's something out there. Someone who's bored doing something.
Dude, there is someone's IG live that is just going the fuck off, bro. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, did you also hear, first off, what have you been listening to recently?
Bro, so I'm not gonna lie, like, so when my mom passed that Wednesday, I did not listen to any music for like I would say like a good week and a half. And then I saw that Mac Miller Deluxe album came out, and I was like, all right, let me fucking peep this. Bro, so that news, they added 2 extra songs. The one that I loved the most was fucking, it's called Right. And that was phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal. Like, that shit hit me hard. And then we'll get into Heat of the Week later, but I really enjoyed and I love your opinion because I know you're a big Jay Electronica fan. I really did enjoy a Written Testimony. I was surprised as fuck Jay-Z's like on every song. Like, it's literally like a Jay-Z, Jay Electronica album.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, but I know you're a big Electronica fan, so like, were you disappointed that he was on every song, or were you cool with it?
I think the latter. Not that Jay ruined it or anything by any means. I think I was just more so hoping. We don't get that much music from him to begin with, so I was hoping we could get as much creative output from him as possible.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of random that, you know, he would all of a sudden choose to do this, and then now he's going to disappear for another 10 years or whatever, however long it was.
Bro, but I didn't realize he's also like 36 years old.
What did you think he was before?
I thought he was like I thought he was considering like he's still considered like a new artist. You know what I mean? I thought he was maybe like late 20s, early 30s. I didn't think he was like a fucking proper grown ass man. Like,
right. I don't know. He always looked older to me. So maybe I just never thought about it. So I'm not too surprised. Especially because he's been gone for so damn long. I feel like
he probably came out when he was 26 and like
yeah, he was like 23 and now he's fucking came back with his second or third album. I still think I prefer his first work, but I can't tell if it's because he had that like mystique to him and it's just this dude came out of nowhere and released like a quote unquote classic, and then now the mystique has kind of gone away.
I know, yeah, I was just happy because I'm always happy just to get Jay-Z material. You know what I mean? And I feel like on this album, he just felt so comfortable just like rapping and not feeling like he had to be cool in any way. Like, yeah, I'm just going to fucking go bar for bar with electronica.
I think that was dope. Yeah.
But I guess the weird part was like, why not just say it's a joint album? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I think that's what was weird about it. I feel like there's mixed messaging and it just was confusing for no reason.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that kind of threw me off. What did you think of Don Toliver's album?
Oh, I forgot to mention that. I fucking love that album. So I heard it when I went to the bachelor party, and I really like it. It's almost like a alternative Travis Scott type of vibe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, granted, aren't they on the same label or like crew? Basically,
no, they're the same label.
So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I won't say it was the best thing ever, but there's definitely some keepers on that album that I like. I'd say one of my favorite two tracks are Heaven or Hell. I think it's the first one.
Okay.
Wasted and After Party. That's the third one I like.
Nice. I like Candy.
I didn't give them all a full listen, so I'm sure there's others that I would add to my playlist. You said Candy?
Yeah, Candy on that album is pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, but that one's it's good, man. Yeah, it's like alternative fucking hip hop to a certain extent. I listened to that one on the drive, so I refused. So when I flew to New York initially, obviously I flew. So, but when I had to come back to Florida to go back to like pack up my shit for at least 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we drove, bro. So I put the album up on the drive, and I don't know if it was just like maybe my girl's speakers. Like it didn't feel like a vibe. So
yeah.
I was like, eh. But then when I came home, I put on my proper speakers. I'm like, oh, this is definitely like a very good album.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely sounds like one of those things that if you were wearing like cheap ass headphones or something, it wouldn't feel the same.
You'll miss it. Yeah, you'll miss it. That's why I feel like you can't really ever judge music. At least unless like if you hate it on your first try, like give it a couple more tries because you probably just didn't catch the vibe in whatever mood you were in. So
for sure.
So that was a good one for sure. And then I feel like so I mean probably the biggest one. So we've been talking about this shit for a while. So Roddy Ricch, after 11 weeks, gave up the number 1 spot to Blinding Lights. Is it Blinding Lights?
Yeah. By The Weeknd?
By The Weeknd, yeah. And The Weeknd has the number 1 single and the number 1 album in the country. So first of all, shout out to Roddy Ricch for just fucking killing it for so fucking long. I think people forget that the whole beef with like Bieber and Selena Gomez. But what did you feel about the Weeknd album?
I honestly wasn't feeling it too much. Not that it was by any means bad. I felt like it was just the same like 80s inspired beat like over and over, and I was just like, I mean, it doesn't do it for me. It's cool if he does that maybe every couple tracks, but like it felt like one long ass song to me. Heartless will still forever be on my playlist. I can't get sick of that song. But some of the others I was like, it's cool, but not for me.
Bro, so I heard it and I was impressed because it's like I mean, it's that breakup vibe, right? Like it's like that like you just got your heart broken by a chick, blah 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 blah. Yeah. So I remember I was working out downstairs and I just happened to work out to the album. I was like, yeah, fuck it, like let me just listen to it now because I'm never gonna have downtime in this process. And then I walked upstairs to my girlfriend and my aunt, and I was like, yo, thank God I'm not going through a breakup, because if I just like had a funeral and a breakup and heard this album, I'll be a fucking mess right now.
You be like in the Heartless video, fucking
Bro,
in Vegas wilding
out. Yo, just wild the fuck out, bro. Yeah, I thought it was a good album, bro. Like, if you put yourself in his position where, like, I guess whatever the fuck he did, like, broke up with that chick, like, I get it. Like, it's like you're just fucking. One moment you're like, yo, fuck the world, I'm gonna fuck every bitch here. Then the next moment you're just like, yo, I fucked up, please come back to my life. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I've been there, so I'm like, all right, I get this.
Right. Were there any other big releases?
Oh, dude, like, obviously, so we're gonna talk about in that episode we couldn't finish. Little Uzi, bro. Mm-hmm. How'd you feel about that? And then him following up the following week with another, with an extra, 10 songs?
Yeah. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with this music. Some of it I don't get. Like, it's almost like Playboy Cardi. But better, for sure, musically. And then other tracks, I'm like, oh, this is the best shit ever. Like, the Footsie Shuffle, I didn't like it when I first heard it. Mm-hmm. And then after, I loved it, and I added it to my playlist. So I feel like a lot of these artists just have to grow on me. On first listen, sometimes it's hard to get into it if I'm not already a fan of them, because I understand half the shit they're saying.
Yeah, because if you're a fan, you're already sold before it even drops.
Yeah. And
then when you listen to it, like, oh my god, this is the best shit ever.
Yeah. It just sucks when people like this have these long, anticipated albums, and then by the time it comes out, they have this huge expectation to live up to, just because it got delayed for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think it was delayed for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I love, dude, the fucking. I couldn't remember where I knew the beat from for Prices, and I was like, bro, this song is fire, but I know this beat from somewhere, and it's from the Travis Scott Version of the Trap album, the song Prices, and it's and I think it's Back Up or Way Back. Yeah, Way Back. It's the Way Back beat. And I was like, bro, Uzi on that fucking beat, yo, killed that shit. So I was like, I wasn't sold on the album completely, but then I heard that track and I'm like, oh, this is fire. So I enjoyed the first one. I didn't care for the extra songs on the deluxe version. It didn't do anything for me, but good for him, bro. I don't know if he lived up to the hype, but the fact that he sold almost 400,000 records in the first week, that shit does not happen at all. So
yeah. That's crazy. How'd you feel about the whole Backstreet Boys song situation thing that way?
Dude, only he could pull that shit off. It didn't feel forced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe he loved that song and yo, I need to remake this song.
Yeah, it didn't feel gimmicky or anything
at all. Dude, that's the cool thing about him. I feel because dude, people is he gay? Is he not? Is he so flamboyant? But who gives a fuck? It's just good music. If you can vibe out to it. I feel he has enough songs that you can just have a good time and listen to. So, but yeah, same with you. I just don't sometimes I legit don't understand what he's saying. And I don't think it's mumble, but it's just what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just it's almost like a inside joke or swag talk that he and 7 other people use in their private time, and
100%.
Just sounds dope. So fuck it, I'll rock with it.
It sounds like that guy who knows the joke is gonna be so fire that he starts laughing before it's over, and you're just bro, but I didn't hear what you said. I'm I didn't get the reference, but I thought it was good, man. Yeah, it was a good album. And then I guess besides from music, I guess the biggest thing, not the biggest thing, but what's been a big deal these past 3 days is Drake fucking finally releasing pictures of his baby.
Oh yeah.
How'd you feel about that? How'd you take the information in?
I thought it was funny that he looked so much like his mom, more than him. Granted, his baby mom was white, so I guess the genes kind of joined forces.
Side note, I know I mentioned this before, but bro, she is so fine.
She is. Some angles were questionable. I think people made fun of her nose and shit, but that's just
whatever, funny. Bro. If you go to her page, she is thick with abs. Bro, she is so fine, bro. I was
I see why he did that.
100%. 100%.
It probably only took 1 beer for him to fucking be all right, I'm gonna risk it all.
Bro, raw it is, bro. Raw it is. bro, because I was like, yo, that like the picture he posted with her is whatever, but like if you go to her page, oh my god, bro, fuck.
I'm gonna have to do it right after this show.
But people were like, oh, it's not his kid. I'm like, bro, it looks just like him with blonde hair. Like,
yeah,
like
they got the same little face and everything. Like,
it's the same. Like, bro, and remember if you go back to his Rap Radar fucking interview, he had a DNA test like 4 times. So like,
yeah, and trust me, if I ever make that much money and I'm taking care of somebody and paying fucking $100,000 a month or whatever the fuck it is, best believe it's my kid. I tested it myself 1,000 times. So people are stupid.
Yeah, man, that was but yeah, that was cool, man. Good for him, bro. You're fucking at home, bored as fuck. Yo, why not just fucking put that out there? Like,
yeah, it just kind of sucks that, like, for instance, Charlemagne, I think, doesn't like promote or advertise his family. But it's almost like if you're as big as Kanye or Drake or Kim, you're almost forced to show your family. Like the public just expects you to give that away.
Yeah, if he never posted a picture, I'd be absolutely fucking fine with that, right? Because remember he had a lyric like, "I wasn't hiding the world for my son. I was hiding or the other way around. Like, I wasn't hiding my son from the whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm talking about? Like that he was trying to keep the world away from his son because he knew how fucked up the world was. Like, I get that 100%, bro. Like, why would you want to be sucked into social media? Like, people talking shit about like the kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why even go down that rabbit hole? So
yeah,
I respect it though. But yeah, good for him for putting it out there. I guess as a tangent, how'd you feel about like so he was afraid he got corona because he was hanging out with Kevin Durant. So how do you feel about like when you started hearing like more celebrities getting it? Did that affect you at all, or were you already like, damn, I know it's already a big deal, like I know it's serious?
It didn't really change my daily behavior, but I think in the back of my mind I was like, oh, is this person gonna die? They seem normal talking about it. Then I have a stuffy nose or like red eyes or a headache or anything. So when I see it, I'm just like curious on how long it's gonna last for them and things like that. But it seems like none of the celebrities really died, except I did hear that the guy who created the song Stacey's Mom Has Got It Going On,
he died from it.
Yeah, apparently he died from it.
Damn.
And of course conspiracy theorists are saying celebrities are being paid to say they have it and the virus is fake and not as dangerous and all kinds of shit. But I think it just goes to show that anyone can get it. But at the same time, I do wonder if these celebrities are out here meeting with people and shit just because, you know, they want to make money or don't give a fuck or they're bored.
Yeah, I know. So I took it seriously, like from the jump, like once like the whole work from home stuff started happening. But like, excuse me. But like when like the NBA athletes started getting it, I was like, damn, because like these are healthy ass, like the healthiest motherfuckers in the world, right?
Yeah.
So I was shocked when they got it, but then I was like, yo, like God forbid one of these 22-year-old fucking stud athletes die, bro. If they're dying, we're all fucked. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's what I was worried about. I'm like, bro, like thank God they recovered. But like Donovan Mitchell from Utah, he's like 22 years old or 21. And I'm like, bro, if this kid dies from this shit, bro, we are fucked, bro. Because clearly this fucking virus is on some serious shit. Like,
right. And I would never wish for that to happen. But in my mind, I'm like, God forbid if it does happen, at least the public will. Because I think, or I've seen people even argue that, hey, you know, 15 celebrities have it, none of them died. So, and they're talking fine. So why should I care?
Yeah.
But I think as more and more of this shit goes on and a celebrity does eventually die, people are gonna be like, oh, this is not fake. Like, I'm not even gonna say a name, but XYZ's gone now, so we gotta take this shit serious.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, they're saying that the fucking eventual death toll when this shit's all said and done is gonna be like close to like 200,000. That's I know that it's probably gonna end up like the math will be like 0.9% of the people who got it died, but that's still 200,000 people who are no longer here. Like that's still fucking...
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, to your point, I think this was bound to happen at some point in time in history. And I think being in America where we just never really deal with hardships other than like, you know, family problems and, you know, job jobs and work and shit like that. When stuff like this happens, I think it throws us all off course, and it's just new to us, so we're freaking out and don't know what to come and all that.
Dude, freaking out, don't know the proper protocol to take, bro. Like, so, like, I'd be fucking honest with you, man. Like, dude, here, like, when I got back to Florida, like, I live, so, I don't know if you can see, but I have, like, it's dark, so I have, like, I'm, like, right on the marina, and, like, people's boats are all, like, decked, like, parked there. Bro, Monday when I was working, like, people were, like, legit having, like, a yacht party. I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, go inside, like, stop. Like, this is not a fucking, like, time to just celebrate being outside. Like,
yeah.
And even, like, in Charlotte, where I have, like, friends, like, they're like, yeah, dude, it got to 73 degrees, and everyone's just fucking doing public fitness events outside, and, like, I'm like, bro, this is not, like, I run outside, but I'm like, yo, I'm outside for 25 minutes, and I'm right back inside. Like, bro, I have nowhere to go. I got nowhere to be besides this fucking apartment, so.
That pissed me off. The first weekend of when all this was implemented, at least in LA, my girl and I were going to hike, and I specifically wanted to go to this spot I know because it's not in an official hiking trail. It's just like some rich ass person's backyard, basically. But it has, like, you know, a path and everything. It's just no one really goes there and knows about it. So I'm like, let's go there. On the way there, we're expecting it to take like 10 minutes like it normally does. It's like 45 minutes because every dumbass is on the coast trying to go to the beach. And we're seeing people cross the street, not social distancing, like families of fucking 17 and shit who probably are only hanging out because they have no friends who want to hang out with them. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? This is just as bad as being at a concert or
100%.
Whatever it is you were going to do before. So they banned all that shit, thankfully.
Thankfully, bro. So they finally closed the beaches 2 weeks ago. Did you see the things about, like, the spring breakers in Miami refusing to leave?
Yep.
And they ended up, like, all having coronavirus because they all got it. Like.
Yep. And they probably gave it to their families too.
Dude, they were, like, so adamant. Like, they were doing interviews. They were like, well, we're young. We're not gonna get it. And we already spent so much money. We can't just leave. I'm like, bro, what? Like, dude, the cost to dying ratio, it's like, there's no fucking, like.
Yeah. I mean, I was supposed to go to Australia to visit my brother in 6 days.
How's he doing out there? Is it bad over there, or is it fine?
He came back because when shit got super real, they were basically saying, you know, you're gonna be trapped there. I mean, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't find a job. He couldn't go to the gym. He couldn't play basketball. Like, it was just over. So he's like, why am I here paying rent and doing nothing? So he came back a couple weeks ago. Obviously, I haven't seen him since, but so I was planning on going to Australia, I think mid-February.
Okay.
Or even early February is when we bought the tickets. And my cousin's like, no. And I'm like, yo, you're tripping. Like, there's only a few cases there. Like, nothing's banned. I'm going by, like, what's on the CDC website and shit. I'm like, it's not banned. We paid for it. My brother's not going to be in Australia ever again, probably. So let's just go. And then as soon as, like, the basketball player news and the NBA shutting down and all that stuff came out, I'm like, if they're shutting down this $1 billion, you know, enterprise or whatever you want to call it, then for sure shit is serious. So it was all downhill from there.
Damn.
And, you know, now we're trying to, like, fight for a refund and get all that shit. But yeah, like, it's not even worth trying to get sick. And there's not shit we can do even if we flew there. So
yeah. So when were you exactly meant to take off?
Next Wednesday night.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got a trip currently booked to Cancun in May. Not happening. Haven't asked for a refund yet, but I'll if it's still May 1st and it's still bad, I'm gonna call, like, right away. Yeah. I was meant to go to Colombia in August for a bachelor party. Dude, the guy who's getting married already bought his ticket this week, and I'm like, bro.
Wait, he bought it this week?
Yeah, dude, it went from like $450 to $130. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I get it. Like,
God.
It's
that's
like
cheap.
Cheap as fuck, bro. So I'm like, I get it, but I'm like, bro, like, right now, like, luckily I'm still employed, like, God willing, like, knock on wood. But like every dollar I'm like just saving. I'm like, bro, God forbid something happens in a month and like they have to cut jobs. Like I want to have like money.
Yeah.
So, but that's probably not going to happen. And then I was meant to go to Spain in September for a wedding. That's probably not going to happen. So it's just crazy, bro. But at the end of the day, like these places are still going to be there. Like it doesn't make any sense for us to put ourselves at fucking risk and like God forbid something happens and we don't make it. You know what I mean? Like it's like we can always go back to fucking like if you want, like you could figure out a way to go back to Australia. You know what I mean? Like I could figure out a way to go to Cancun with my aunt. Like like that shit. Like the pros and cons. Like it's a no brainer, right? But like when it's crazy how it took the NBA stopping games for us to be like, oh shit, this is real. Go home. Like
that's what made me angry. I mean, I'm not. I don't watch too much of basketball. My brother's a straight fanatic, but I'm like, this is what it took for people to take it serious. I'm like, just because tomorrow's game is canceled, now you want to fucking stay home? Like, this shit's been serious.
And then what didn't make sense to me is that, like, all right, they were like, so if you didn't know, so they were talking about, like, let's not cancel games, but let's play behind closed doors. So you play the games and no fans.
Oh, right.
Like, but if the virus is from, like, close contact, if I'm fucking playing defense on you, you have a much greater chance of catching a virus from me than a fucking fan 500 feet away from you. Like,
yeah, that makes no sense. And I'm not a scientist, but, I mean, maybe it could be spread through the air, but this motherfucker's sweat is getting in my mouth and eyes and shit. Like, yeah, how does that solve anything?
I was like, bro, behind closed doors is not the solution. Like, stop playing. Like, bro, like, we can play sports again. Like, dude, it's crazy. So before we get off this topic, but there was a match. So in soccer, there's like a European league that like all the best teams from different countries play against each other. So one team from Italy Italy traveled to Spain in Valencia. And like, yo, that alone with the fans traveling, they did a test. 40,000 people caught it at that one game.
Damn.
Bro. 40,000, bro, including some players, some coaches, and like a ton of like 30,000 fans, bro.
All right, well, that's good. Because the guy I worked with, he was in Europe and he was gonna go to a soccer game, and fortunately they canceled it. But his ass might have got it.
Bro, crazy, bro. Like the results came out like a week after. Like, from that one event alone, 40,000 people got that shit, bro. I was like, God damn, crazy, bro. Anything else that stood out to you throughout this little 3-week hiatus that you wanted to talk about?
Not really. I think I was just most interested in like how this is going to change our lives for the next years or maybe forever, because there's a lot of shit that like we're just, as human beings, are so accustomed to being outside that we're forced to like be creative and find ways to do things differently in our house.
Yeah, working out from home. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
I bought all kinds of random shit I would have never spent money on.
100% same, dude.
I'm glad now because I'm gonna probably save money in the long run. So
the moment that gym is open, I'm out. Like I'm going right back, bro. Like I'm gonna, for me, like it's making, even though like I'm naturally an introvert, dude, it's making me crave social interaction just so bad.
For sure. Yeah.
Like even like the things you take for granted, like just walking around my like sales floor and like talking shit to people. I'm like, damn, bro, I would give anything to have that right now.
Yeah. Or even just because I mean, I always thinking about this. I'm like, why? You ever go to a bar and there's like 6 people in there? You're like, this shit is whack. You go to another bar, same exact music, whatever. There's like 100 people, and you're like, oh, this is dope. And you probably have no intention of talking to anyone there, but you just want the energy of other people. I think that's kind of how I feel a lot. Like I don't necessarily need to interact with people, but I do want to be around them and potentially connect if it comes to that. But yeah, it's just weird not seeing other human beings, even just fucking being in my car or whatever.
Yeah, dude, I was like, even when it was getting somewhat bad in New York, and I was like, damn, like how are we gonna get to this one spot? I'm like, dude, I'm not getting in a fucking Uber right now. There's no way. Like,
yep.
I'm not touching shit right now.
Yeah, it went 0 to 100 because I remember right before they had the self-isolation rules. Like I was in Uber, I was kicking it with friends. We were kind of being careful, like we weren't shaking hands and shit. But all of a sudden, it was like, I don't even want to be within 20 feet of you.
Yeah, bro. The most that I did before this, obviously, so I always never touch doorknobs ever. Like I always have a paper towel. Like I was always that guy. Whenever I pump gas, I always sanitize right away. So those haven't been drastic changes for me. But yeah, I'm always like, I'm very like loving if I like you. So I'm like, yo, dap you up, hug. Dude, now it was like elbow, you know what I mean? Just a nod, like that kind of sucks. I definitely like, I miss the just the interaction, like be able to like embrace someone you love and not having to think twice about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But we'll get it back. All right, man. Before we dip, again, this is episode 22, Rona 2020. What is your? We went over music, but what's your heat of the week? Like something that you've been fucking like is your shit.
You're gonna hate me for this, but
Joyner
Lucas, he dropped the album. I didn't listen to the album, but he does have a couple bangers on there.
The song about Will Smith is fire.
Yeah, that song is fire. I can't speak for the rest of the shit, and most of it you probably already heard, to be honest, because for whatever reason I think it was part of his concept, but he released basically a video for every song like over the course of the past year and a half or something.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So most of it is you probably already heard, but the two songs, I don't know if you've heard them. One of them's called Revenge. The beat and everything's super fire, not corny. The other song is called Lotto, and I feel like that song is more of like a I won't say club banger, but something you want to bump in your car.
Nice, okay.
Or bump at a kickback or some shit. So those two songs, Revenge and Lotto, I've had on repeat, and I really like those.
Nice. All right, so Revenge and Lotto. So I got, and I haven't downloaded the album yet, but I definitely like. There were a couple of songs that popped up on my like Rap Life fucking mix, and I was like, all right, this is pretty good. So I'll give it a try, just for you, bro, for you. But so 2 heat of the week. So 1, as far as albums, like I give love to my brother, Chris Lil Den is his rap name. He dropped an EP, 8 tracks called The Show. Pretty impressive with it, to be completely honest, no bias. If you like alternative hip hop, like the Russ kind of thing, you'll love this album. So check out that. Shout out to my brother Chris. He dropped it last week. But for me, bro, like the song that fucking has just like hit hard for me, and again, not to be depressing, but because like my mom. So I don't know if you went through the entire Jay Electronica album with Jay-Z, but song 10 is called, it's like, it's each letter. So it's APIDTA. I don't know what the initials stand for, but dude, essentially it's about, so I guess his mom died as well. And it's like a rap song to his mom. And it's like, I got texts on my phone that will never text again. I got people on my phone that will never call me again. And then he talks about the process of like kissing his mom while she like was in the casket, and like how like she looked so peaceful, but when I kissed her forehead, she was so cold. I knew it was time for me to go. Something like something around that thing. And bro, so I heard it on my drive to New York, and like I just started crying. Like, bro, the fact this shit moved me to tears. And then my girl was like, baby, like, why are you listening to this right now?
Wait, is that, like, sorry to cut you off, was that Jay Electronica or your friends?
No. What do you mean?
The song you were referring to, was that the Jay Electronica?
It's the last song on Jay Electronica's album. Okay. Yeah, it's called APIDTA. And like it's Jay-Z on the hook, but then it just Jay Electronica actually rapping on the verses. So it was Jay Electronica saying those words about his mom when she died a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then my girl's like, yo, why are you listening to this? You're fucking crying, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, but like, again, like the whole universe thing, like, dude, there's a reason this song came out literally 5 days after my mom died. Like, you know, I needed to hear this song, and it kind of like mentally prepared me for like what I was about to walk into in New York. And the fact that, bro, if a song can move you to tears or happiness, bro, that's a good fucking song, right? So just like,
for sure.
So definitely, I enjoyed that album a lot, but that song was just, again, it's not a banger, but as far as heat of the week for me, like, bro, number 10, APIDTA, holy shit, bro, like that's exactly was my life like going into like 2 weeks ago. So
dope. And crying is healthy, so I don't want anyone to get it twisted and think that, you know, you can't be emotional and kind of like give into it. Obviously, like we've been taught to suppress it, but like once you actually do it, that relief is like a good feeling at the end of the day.
It was happy tears. Like obviously you're sad. It's a whole process. Like I'm still trying to. I think I'm actually gonna like try to find like a grieving counselor just to like understand this, right? Because like, I mean, up until this point, like I've never had like someone this. I mean, hopefully I never had someone this close to me ever again, like so sudden. But like, I guess, but I'm gonna find a grief counselor. I'm already like, luckily my job pays for that, so that's cool. But I guess what also has helped me, and then not to go down a rabbit hole with this, but like at the end of the day, like this is the process of life. You know what I mean? So I feel like you have to have perspective sometimes, even when shit's going so bad. Like, so if we go back to like Rona, like you have to have perspective. Like, yo, like, all right, I'm just being asked to stay home and be with my loved ones. Like, how bad is that, right? Like that can't be that. And then with like, I guess with death, it's like, all right, but like the person who passed away is always gonna pass away at some point. You know what I mean? Like we're all gonna get that call one day. Like my loved ones at some point will get the call about me, and it's like, all right, what did they do up until that point? Were they happy with their life, right? And then like the cool thing about my mom is like, bro, she was the happiest person in the world, right? So I always say this thing like, I believe in God, so like, when God asked my mom like, hey, do you want more time? I'm pretty sure she said yeah, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I think if he was like, listen, I can't give you more time. Are you satisfied with your life thus far? She would have said yes every single time. So like that's the peace I get. But at the end of the day, like, yo, this is just life. Like if you take a step back, like that fucking saying, like, yo, people die every day. Like literally, that's just the way the things work, right? So it sucks, but like, yeah, you gotta try to have perspective. But that song helped me have more perspective going into like the craziest week of my life. So that was why I had to like give it a shout out.
Oh, that's dope. And I feel like music is can be like one of the biggest healing elements, depending on if like you're a music fan to begin with. I know for me, like for various reasons in my life, I've been depressed. It's hard to listen to it right away because like the last thing you want to do is like
100%
do anything.
100%.
But once you kind of cool down a little bit and get into it, then it becomes this crazy healing process. And you obviously the person doesn't know you personally, but they connect with you in like this eerily similar way.
Yeah.
To the point where like you feel like they did write it for you, and then it makes you feel that much more like I don't know, connected to like a higher power, and like you feel like you're gonna be all right, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because again, that's a great point. Like, yo, when I had like that bad moment 3 weeks ago, I was like, bro, the last thing I want to listen to, like, yo, even on the plane ride back and forth, no music. I was like, bro, I don't want to listen to shit right now. Yeah. But then, yeah, there is like, if you're a music lover, there's gonna be fucking songs that just speak to you, and like, then that shit can be comforting because like, all right, I'm not in this by myself. You know what I mean? Like someone else has gone through this. Clearly they're able to live their life. Like I can do the same thing. So.
Yep. For sure.
All right, bro. Well, that's a fucking. We're back doing this. I think we're gonna be doing this shit every week now. Back to it because we can.
I mean, shit, we got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time, bro. We could probably knock out 4 episodes a week.
I know. For real.
All right. Well, I hope you guys appreciate the new setup. Again, we'll put this out next week. We'll keep flooding you guys with more material. Again, hopefully we get more listeners now that everyone's at home not doing anything. So.
Yep.
All right, brother. Man. Love you, man.
Peace.
Appreciate
Love
you.
too.
Stay safe, and we'll talk very soon.
Till next time.
Hey, my dude.
All right, man. Later.